This is a Spanish Colonial Revival home built in 1929. And the current owners purchased this house and right away brought us in to have a look at it and explained to us about what they really loved about the house and about their desire to renovate it and remodel it and really kind of bring it up to current day standards. You know, they wanted to pay homage to the beautiful character defining features that you're going to see in the home, but yet also bring it up to a point where they were comfortable living in it, and which was a good thing. This particular house is on the Mills Act. To give you just a brief idea of what the Mills Act is it's a designation on a historic home that stays with the home that allows for tax breaks. And what you need to show is if you take the money that you're saving on your tax break and putting it into the home to renovate it and keep it up and restore it, then that's a great way to have a little bit of money to renovate your home. So that was something that we needed to pay attention here, because what that requires is us to keep intact those character defining features of a historic home. Here's the outside of the home, which got completely refreshed, but really I'd like to take you inside. If you have a 1920s home, you may have this material that you see here in the entry of called magnesite. This is a very popular material in the 1920s, and this particular home had that.
This was listed as part of the Mill Act, so it was something we were very interested in restoring.
Yeah, and I like the addition of that little door. That wasn't there before, right? Or did they get some storage in there?
That we got storage, and then we called it our Hobbit door, as it's a little short.
Yeah, I think it's actually kind of a nice addition to the appearance of that entry too.
It is.
Definitely. All right, let's step a little further in, take a look at the living room.
This was the most restored room of the house. We didn't do a whole lot to it. We just basically freshened everything up. Floors, took care of the mahogany. The tile around the fireplace was decayed and in bad shape, and so we took a lot of time to match the details and shape of everything in new stone. One of the interesting things on this part of the project was the client was very interested in bringing in a hi-fi stereo system and turntable, and we wanted to be very discreet about it. Looking at the two doors you see to the left of the fireplace, which were for wood storage, where we ended up hiding that. So that was a fun little detail. It's a pull-out turntable with all the albums below. So it was really nice.
Yeah, this is why I like getting involved in projects like this. I mean, that was actually tough to figure out and fit in there, and album storage underneath. And of course, the turntable's got to be on a stable foundation or the records skip all over the place. So those are special locking drawer glides. For when you pull it out, it locks into place. And all the stereo equipment's actually in the basement, so that's all run remotely down to the speakers and what on the amps down there. So lots of fun.
You know, something else I remember on this particular room too, guys, you know, we keep mentioning the Mills Act on this, and something that was on the Mills Act that had to stay and we had to preserve it was the mahogany downstairs. The mahogany base, case, and the windows that are in this particular room. You know, you can imagine a 1929 home and what those windows were acting like and how they opened, and or in this case, for the most part, didn't. You know, that was something that we went through and renovated and cleaned those all up and got them working again. So fun stuff.
We also had a very, very specific skip troweled finish in these existing rooms. And when we tied in, had to do new rooms, we were into a lot of expertise, but it's just seamless. You cannot tell where the old finish stops and our new finish starts.
Very nice.
This is the room that's immediately adjacent to the room we just came out of. What we did is we took advantage of windows that we preserved throughout the rest of the house and had new windows made out of mahogany to then inset them in there. And on this particular countertop, we used a zinc. So it was kind of fun, kind of different texture and feel to it. On the wall, you can see a TV that's on. It almost looks like a picture actually here, but it's when the TV is off, that's actually a mirror and you can't see the TV at all.
Well, this room was a challenge because it's very narrow. We couldn't really change the dimensions of the room, but all the stuff on the right is custom designed. We used a wall mount faucet and a custom console sink to keep it, you know, very shallow. And then these cabinets are very shallow as well to allow enough room. And then, you know, basically we've imitated with tile work like you'd see when the house was built in the late 20s, 1930s.
That's such a beautiful color palette. Let's take a step into the kitchen. This is a good example of retaining the style and the character of a 1920s home, but yet making it into a kitchen that we could all, cook and up to contemporary standards, socialize, but still looks appropriate for the home. We really didn't have much space for kitchen along this wall. And in fact, what looks like the fridge kind of disappears into that wall. It's just a very narrow fridge. So by that simple move of moving that door, look at what we ended up with, right? We can get a full fridge right to the left of that door, a little bit more counter space, and just with that little move makes such a more usable kitchen.
This is the primary circulation route through the house out to the backyard. So it gave us a great kitchen and improved the circulation, the flow through the house. And the owners do like to throw a party now and again. So that was important for them. I think we did probably more studies of the kitchen arrangement than any other room. And it turned out very nicely.
The other thing I think that's fun here is here we have a spot for some of our more important family members, right? Where I get that question a lot. What can we do with the dog bowls? I'm constantly putting these down, kicking them, having to put them away. But, I encourage people to share stories like that because, hey, there's a solution for everything.
This is also in keeping with the client's desire to have really cool things that are somewhat partially hidden. And there's storage racks on the columns that flank the oven too, that pull out as well. So there's a lot of detail in this kitchen.
How about that hood?
Yeah, that's a custom hood as well that we had fabricated special off-site to tie in with that existing oven.
I think, Alan, this was originally a sun porch, correct?
It was. There were 5 arches. It was open to the weather. They were eventually enclosed and rather poorly. There was actually ivy growing under some of the doors.
And then you can see what we did afterward, replacing all those doors that Alan talked about that were leaking and everything. Now they lead out to what looks like a nice patio.
Yeah, and one of the nice features about this room now is that the tile in the room is actually a concrete tile, and it's the same material we use, but in a larger format out on the pool deck. So once you throw open those custom mahogany doors, that same material just flows outside, and it's more like the room it originally was, sort of indoor and outdoor.
Adding a fireplace, I get that question a lot. Can we do that? Well, there you have it. We added a fireplace and a sneaky little TV. That picture that you see in the upper left corner, that rolls up and unveils a TV behind there.
The other thing we discovered when we were working on this is that the structure was in very poor shape. There was a lot of termite damage and rot, which had actually affected the floor level upstairs. So that doing this work gave us the opportunity to structurally reinforce the house and make it, watertight.
All right, let's go outside. Here you can see this is that enclosed porch, and you can see that it had these full height arch top windows. Well, those got transformed because I believe the client wanted a deck out off of there, correct?
Yeah, well, that was the real trick with this space was, the main entertainment space was that sunroom and the den, and then we needed to get out to the backyard. So we raised up the platform here and came right out from the sunroom onto the platform. And that allowed us to put the spa in and let that spill into the pool at the same time. Then there's a little Baja.
This is not a giant backyard, but it's impressive how much bigger it became as this scaled so well from the pool to the deck up to the house and the pergola. It just completely changed the way that backyard space felt.
And now for perhaps the coup d'etat, let's go into the pool house.
So this was designed to be converted back if we ever needed to park in there. Those door panels are actually on a track, and they individually slide and stack. So you can completely open up that space or just a single doorway, depending on your needs at the time.
And this is the pool bath. Another huge difference. That indoor-outdoor living that we enjoy so much for most of the year here in California is really played up here. Really creating just a great pool house, I'll say it, party space, right?
We did make sure that it was to be known to our clients, and we did want to test this place out when it was done.
Well, thank you guys. I think I'm ready to move in, or at least I'm ready to go spend the evening in the pool house. I want to thank you all for joining us. And I want to thank Alan and Bill and Troy for giving us such great tour and insight into this home. You know, the thing that I love about this is here you have everybody that's concerned about the project, all under one roof, all with the same goal, making sure that you get what you want and you have as good a time as we can getting you there.
We used to have t-shirts that said HartmanBaldwin, more thoughts per square foot. But I think everybody's hearing on this project was more thoughts per square inch.